Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Jason with Outdoor Adventures. Today we're going to be looking at the Osprey Atmos 65 liter pack. This is in a medium version. This has been a very reliable, very comfortable, and very solid pack for me. I've used it on everything from winter trips to day hikes to even a through hike of 6 days and 70 miles. And it has held up wonderfully so far. Um, in 2015, Osprey discontinued this version of the Atmos and came out with another version called the Atmos 65 AG. AG stands for anti-gravity. It's supposed to be a little more comfortable, but to my disappointment, it actually weighs almost a pound more than this model. So I haven't heard any stories if it is more comfortable. Most people just seem to stick with this model of their backpack, and most have been pretty satisfied with it. Everywhere you go, this is getting pretty good reviews, and I tend to agree with most of them. Let's go over the features real quick, and you can find these features listed everywhere. I just want to run down them real quick, and then I'll tell you about my experiences, my likes, and my dislikes. Okay, so first of all, I have this filled with a couple of down quilts to make this kind of puff out a little bit to show you guys. It's not filled with any kind of weight. I'd say it probably weighs like 3-4 pounds right now. The official weight of this pack is 3 pounds 9 ounces. I took a couple ounces off of the pack for me personally because some of these straps and these straps were way too long for me. These actually hung below my knees, and so I just cut them off, folded over, and made a quick stitch just to keep it from fraying. And that has been working out excellent for me. I mean, even this is a little too long. So when you get this pack, make sure you like it, and then I'd say cut off the straps because they are ridiculously too long. Now on the bottom of the pack, you do have sleeping pad straps. You can also use these for a tent if that's what you choose to do. I did remove these at one point because I wasn't using it. I have a Neo Air X Therm, and I alternate between that, a hammock, and an underquilt system. So you can remove these. I had to personally take the stitching out and then pull it through, but I have recently just added these back in because I do plan on using this for winter, in which case I will be carrying a sheet of extra sleeping pad material. But they're there for you to take advantage of. The only thing I don't like about this part of the pack is that you have to unclip it to get to the sleeping pad area, or the sleeping bag area. The sleeping bag area can be separate. It has a little divider in it, and we'll get into that. I feel if they would have just moved these down a little bit, it would have been better. But this, they did it for a reason. I'm assuming it's for stability issues. But anyway, they're there. On the bottom, you have your sleeping bag compartment. This is a nice feature. And like I said, this is just filled with pillows, so you get the idea. Now you can just take your sleeping bag out if you want to get that set up quickly, or if you need it to dry when you get to camp, and all the rest of the contents of your pack will remain intact, based on this little removable little panel they have right here. Like I said, it is removable. You just kind of pull it out the same way you do these. But this option is here for you. On the sides, you have two very large zippered pockets. The cool thing about this is they are split right down the middle, which allows you to put gear on both sides. And when you do that, it doesn't take up the other pocket. So that's a kind of a nice feature. On some packs I've seen, when you put gear in one side, you're kind of limiting what you can put on the other side. But not in this pack. It's strictly separated by a stitch and a little panel in here. And what I would do is I would put my water filtration system on one side, maybe the first aid kit, and I would put my stove system on the other side. And that worked out very well for me. However, you can feel free to do with it what you will. You have these two smaller hip belt pockets. Some people complain about the size of these pockets. I tend to agree to an extent. I don't think they're overboard as far as their size, but they could be a little bigger. What I would do with these is I would put trail mix or snacks for the day, and I would put camera batteries or a camera, like a point and shoot camera. You're not going to fit a DSLR in here, but a point and shoot camera can definitely fit in here. Um, you also have these two stretchy mesh pockets on either side. You can choose to run the compression straps on the inside or on the outside. I like it on the outside just because I like to lock everything down, whether it be a water bottle, Nalgene, or some fuel canister or a fuel bottle. So on the top lid, you have this mesh pocket on the inside. It's a very big mesh pocket. You can put maybe your snacks, first aid kit, toiletries, maybe even your electronics in here if you bring those. And on the top side lid, you have a very, very generous top pack storage area. I would personally put my electronics in here, the food that I was going to eat during the day up in here. Just I could go behind my back and get this out very easily, and we'll take a look at that once I put the pack on. Opening up the main pack, you have this nice little drawstring, and I really like this part. To tighten it down, you just simply slide this straight down and it locks in place. And to pull it back up, you just hold this little tab right here and it goes back up very easily. Now, on top of all the wonderful compartments and organizational features you have on this pack, this is probably my favorite part of the pack. This is the Osprey Airspeed. And what this does, it's an elevated mesh suspension system that regulates the air behind your back so you don't get sweaty. This works absolutely amazing. A lot of people are skeptical about this. Some even say that it pushes their pack too far off their back. I tend to not agree with that at all. I mean, it's only a half an inch, but it does get your back dry very, very nicely, especially in the wintertime when you're sweating with a coat on or something. This is awesome. It's kind of springy, and eventually it actually forms to your back. I can't not tell you guys how comfortable this is. This Airspeed is the reason why I bought my day pack and the reason why I bought my smaller pack that I use on 3-season weekend trips. I have an Exos 48 and a Stratos 24 or 26, I believe. They all feature this Airspeed mesh panel, and that has been super comfortable for me. Highly recommend it just for this feature right here. On top of that, you have the option to move these little panels in and out based on your waist size. I tend to just leave them inside just because I have a smaller frame, but they're completely adjustable. Also, you can raise this shoulder harness up and down via this strong Velcro. I'm not going to mess with it because I have it dialed in perfectly, but you can probably raise this a couple more inches here and then adjust your load lifters like so. Now, another feature that I like is this Osprey stow on the go system. What it is, basically, it's just a couple pieces of shock cord, one on the left bottom side of the pack and one on the left shoulder strap. This allows you to, let's say you're using your trekking poles, you finally got up the hill, and now you're on a nice flat section for a couple miles, and you don't really want to use your trekking poles, but you're too lazy, you're like me, you don't want to take your pack off and actually attach them to the back of your pack. This allows you to, without taking the pack off, slide your trekking poles into the shock cord and loop it around the shoulder strap and tighten everything down, and this will actually keep your poles in place for you to easily gain access to them so if you need them again. I found this really handy for just taking pictures, for filming, and just simply getting them out of the way, because I don't always use trekking poles. I only use them for uphills and very steep downhills for knee safeties. So this is an excellent feature. I don't know why some people say it's just a gimmick. I mean, it's been really useful for me, so I can honestly say it's not a gimmick. I actually use this, and I think it's great. And Osprey includes this system on most of their packs. say you wanted to store your trekking poles a little more permanently, you could simply go around here and you have two ice axe loops, put them in the ice axe loop, and then you attach your system like this and pull it tight. And now they are permanently attached and kind of out of your way, and you don't have to worry about it. So you have two of these little shock cord straps. You can slide this out and go in two additional little pouches, right? Actually, there's four that you can put these in on each side. So say you want it lower, you want it higher, just based on personal preference. In the pack, let's take this out. You also have a hydration sleeve. Let's see if I can show you this. You have an internal hydration pouch that you can put water bladder in, or really anything you want that you want to keep close to your back. If it's not an Osprey brand and it needs to be higher up, they give you a little strap that you can clip on to the water bladder. And then on both sides of the pack, you have H2O exhaust ports, basically is what I call them, and you can run your bite valve and your tubing through either side of the pack based on personal preference. The other one's right over here. Issues with the pack. I would have liked to have an external hydration pouch that fits behind this airspeed suspension. That would have been really nice. It's really hard to get your water bladder out of the pack without taking out your gear. So if you need to fill up during the day, it's kind of a nuisance. Now, Sawyer and a couple other companies do make, filter adapters that you can just kind of fill it up. You take the bite valve off your hydration tube, and you kind of just squeeze the bag or filter your water that way, and it goes back in the pack. I guess that's a viable option, but that could all be fixed by just simply adding the external hydration sleeve right back here. I mean, I don't see a big problem with it. Maybe it weighs a little more, but that's something I would like to see. All in all, though, it's a really great pack. It's really comfortable. It has a ton of pockets to get organized. I'd say it's a great beginner pack because most beginners, myself included, they want organization because it takes them so long to pack up and get their gear out for lunch, and just being able to just unzip this one thing, pull out your stove, pull out your fuel, pull out the food for the day, and just make lunch without having to unpack everything is a really good idea. I really like the pouch system. Now, these do add some weight, but this is not an ultralight backpack by any means. This pack is now discontinued, but if you can find this, I highly recommend it. Now, this pack does not come with a rain cover. The rain cover is separate. I think they're about $15 to $20 depending on where you look. A size medium will fit this. They have a small, medium, and a large version. The large versions fit up to like 85 liters. The medium versions fit up to 70, and I believe the small fits up to 45. Don't quote me on that. That's just off the top of my head. So anyway, let me put this pack on, fill it back up, and I'll show you some of the the adjustment features that you can do with this. Okay. So when you put the pack on, basically you have your waist strap, and you have this fit on the fly mode, which just allows you to kind of just squeeze it in, and then you're all good. You have your shoulder length adjusters, and you have your, where is it? You have your load lifters right here, and obviously your sternum strap with the whistle. I usually clip my, I have a little magnet for my hydration bladder. I usually put that right here, run the tube out here, and slide it through these little loops, right like that, and then I can just easily get to my hydration bladder. Now, like I was saying, these are adjustable in case you want them to wrap around your body a little bit more. See that? And you can go like that. Pull these out and adjust it to fit your waist better. However, my small frame just allows me to keep them in, but it does make it pretty comfortable. I'll give them that. the still on the go system, this is what I was talking about. Say you just got done using your trekking poles, you wanted to put them away. So you'd do is you'd grab this little loop, slide your trekking poles in, and hook these on top and lock it down. Now they're readily available to you, but they're out of the way, and that's very important to me because now I can take pictures. I can sit down and have lunch, and it's out of the way. Whatever I want to do with it. And to get them back, you just pull them down, take them off, pull the loop, adjust them, and then you're ready to go. Say I want to eat on the go, I can either open this pocket, get my trail mix or my candy bars or whatever I'm wanting, peanut M&Ms. I can either open this pocket, get some trail mix and some peanut M&Ms. I'm good to go. I can also go like this and get a bag of food out, or a sandwich or lunch or whatever, and I can simply close it up. I can eat while I'm going, and I can put the trash back in here if I wanted to, all without taking the pack off, which is a really good idea. Now these are the straps that I was talking about. They were too long. Literally, guys, they were hanging down here past my knee. So cut about a foot off from each one, and this is a good size. This is still a little long, but I just wanted to make sure if I ever sold this pack and I sold it to someone that with a bigger frame than me, that I would be able to, that they would be able to use this. I could probably just leave it like this and it would be fine. Oh, another thing. The stern strap is completely adjustable, so you can move this up and down for comfort, and you can move this all the way up. They simply just slide along these little guide rails, and I've never really had an issue with these, so I kind of just keep them about 3/4 of the way up, and that works for me. Now this pack is very durable. Like I said, it's held up great. It's made of a 210 denier fabric, and also there's 100 denier fabric for some of the other materials. The only wear and tear after a whole year that I've seen on this pack is along this mesh pocket, and I will show you. And it's not even that big of a deal. Let's see if I can even find it here. Basically, I don't know if it was it was probably just snagged on a jagger, like a thorn bush, but let's see if you can see that right here. It's just a very, very small couple set of holes right here, and I'm not sure if that's relating to my still on the go system. Just the baskets hitting that spot, but more than likely it was caused by just a simple thorn that I was walking through. Osprey has an awesome warranty. It's lifetime guaranteed, so you just get to them, send it out to them, and they will fix it for you. And it's a really easy exchange system. I haven't needed to use it because, like I said, I haven't had anything wrong with the pack except for that really, really small hole that I just showed you guys. And all in all, it's a great winter pack. I'm able to fit all my winter gear in here. I'm able to fit all my weekend gear in here. And since I have transitioned down to smaller gear, this is actually too big for me now. But I will use it on extended hikes, upwards of 6 days, 7 days. So expect to see this pack maybe in the near future again. If you want to see this pack in action, just go ahead and check out some of my videos. I've used it exclusively last year. It was my go-to pack, like I said, and it's been it's lived up to all my expectations and even higher. So no issues with the pack except for maybe the little front pockets. But other than that, guys, the Osprey Atmos 65, if you can still find it, definitely recommend it. It should probably be around $200 now with it being discontinued and all. But if you can snag it, definitely try to get it. If you have any questions, or maybe I missed something, I'm sure I missed some things on here, and I do apologize. Check the annotations throughout the video, and I'll try to put everything back in. There was just so much to talk about in here, and I hope I got everything, but I can't say enough good things about this. The Atmos 65 by Osprey. This is Jason from Outdoor Adventures. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps somebody.